I'm Connor Petrey. I'm here with Cinefied.com. It's fantastic to get a chance to speak to you, Kevin, about Solo Mio. And I mean, this film to me was enormously charming and sweet, and it definitely wore its heart on its sleeve. And I just had such a good time watching. And I'm curious, as a producer and a co-writer on the film, what made you want to make a romantic comedy like this in today's age of cinema?
Because I miss the classic ones, like and we haven't seen. I feel like we haven't seen, if not any, enough of them for sure. It's a lot of, and they're great. Big high action movies, explosions, and horror movies and all that stuff like that. I miss the old classic rom com that I grew up on, and the Cananes who directed this movie and wrote it with me, we had the same vision, and it's like how can we bring that classic style back and in a new way and kind of bring it to theaters again too, which is a big part of it. Like I really want this thing in theaters, and it's a tricky thing to do, to get a romantic comedy in a theater, to have people go, with today's attention span of people, and they want the big things and flashy. It's hard to get people to sit in the pocket. But when you grab them with a story that feels real, and you kind of go through these obstacles, you get hooked. And it's like, I can tell I've done many movies, and I've been interviewed many times, and when people say to me that I really was into it, I can tell if they really were, or they weren't. They're being sincere, and I feel this when people are interviewing me, that they're connecting with this movie, which is, I'm so happy, because I think it's the best one I've ever done, and not because of me, but because of everybody around me and the way this thing came together. The actors we got in this movie are just the best I've worked with. It's incredible.
Yeah, and your connection with Neil and Julian in the film, I mean, it feels very sincere, and it feels like almost like an instant brotherly bond. As I believe Jonathan kind of stated, is that one of them is kind of like a devil on your shoulder, one's like an angel on your shoulder,
Yeah.
and I love that idea, and I love just there's a moment in the film at a party, which I think is a moment that really shines through, that gives kind of their personalities out, Neil and Julian, where they're dancing to Drift Away. and
Yeah.
and I brought that up before, and I was wondering, I've been told that was an idea that came from you, that song selection. I was wondering where that
Yeah.
song came from, because even your character says it's kind of out of the blue,
Yeah.
and it's a fantastic moment in the film.
These are the soundtrack of my life early on. Like I'll pick a lot of these. Whether it's Neil Diamond in another movie, these classic songs that I remember moving me. I want to bring them to these new generations as well, and put it in a funny way, and kind of in a moving way, and if it works in the right way, it can fit beautifully, and like it feels so out of place in an Italian, nightclub, but it actually worked, and it came together, and it moves people again. So that's the key to it, and especially with these guys, and that's what I love about them as my buddies in this movie. I don't know them, but they want to help out a stranger. They really do. And by the way, on their honeymoon, they're both on their honeymoon. They're not tending to their wives. They want to help this guy who's in such pain, and they spend most of their time with him, trying to lift him up. And there's a sweet story behind that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that sweet story, it just draws you in, and you just, when the credits roll, you're like, I want more of his story and this love story, because it's so fantastic. I have one more question for you. So this is not the first time you've played a teacher. One of my personal favorites of your films is Here Comes the Boom, and it's kind of like comfort film for me, actually. And I'm wondering, with your character Scott Voss, who obviously he goes and he really loves his students. He goes
Right.
through a lot of things. What kind of similarities do you see in these two teachers? Like, are there any?
Oh, absolutely. You could tell that they love their students, and they want to. I mean, he might be a little bit more broad, that one, Scott Voss, in fighting for his students, but that was based on a true story of a guy who I knew, that was started fighting to help his students out, and was a pretty tough fighter. There were, I just love that when there's sacrifice involved. And again, that one felt a little bit more broad than this one, maybe. But they both have their love for their students, and they just want to help them succeed. And you can see that they carry them into the movie, and he wants the best for them, and you could just tell he's a good guy. Talking about Matt Taylor now, is a guy I want to be like. We wrote a character that it's like, we're all fallen, like we're all faulted and have problems and stuff, but I love this guy. I love the fact that he doesn't give up. I love that he struggles with this. He allows these guys who doesn't know into his life to kind of help him heal. He knows when to get a hand up, and he moves forward. He keeps trying.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it's been an honor to get to talk to you about the film, and I can't wait for other people to get a chance to see it in theaters. So thank you.
Awesome, Connor. Thank you.